Digital advertising is continuously evolving and innovating, providing new opportunities and challenges for both brands and consumers. Part of the IAB's mission is to help businesses prepare for the future, and innovation is a topic that's dominated some of our steering group conversations. Across Q4, we've got an innovation seminar, we're launching a guide to digital innovation, and here we've asked our steering group members some questions about what innovation means to them and why it's so important to be innovative.
We haven't had a lack of great technology to create exciting and creative campaigns that work well and that users like as well, but it's only recently that we've had this huge industry focus on providing greater quality, transparency and a better user experience.
So for me, the main innovation within mobile has been around user experience. I think that consists of two things. One around creative specifically, so how agencies and creative agencies are actually thinking mobile first, really for the first time over the last 12 months, and thinking about how people are consuming that content. And secondly, around user experience, around thinking mobile in terms of the actual end consumer. So things like accelerated mobile pages and voice search, just making it easier for people to access content across mobile quickly.
The fundamentals of high impact and engaging advertising haven't changed. So what innovation is doing in display, I believe, is how that advertising is then delivered. So programmatic technology is coming further up the process, if you like, and that means that things like that and also dynamic creative optimization technology means that what would have been a broad reach sort of spray and pray campaign from a display perspective actually can get much more targeted and reach those individuals so that relevance, which is really key, is maintained.
Don't even think about actually creating a TV ad and just putting that on video, but actually think about just even creating a digital ad and then putting it across multiple platforms. Those days are gone now. We have to think about, right, how people are consuming the content, what devices, how we deliver it to them, how do we tell that story. So if you don't do that, and if you don't kind of keep up with the times and how things are changing, you're going to get left behind.
It's really important because we need to start following actual user behaviour. So instead of just following a simple trend of maybe spending in mobile for the sake of mobile, when it becomes the mobile industry specifically, we need to understand how people are actually using that device. So are people using it at different times of day? Are different audiences potentially consuming content differently? And when we look at things like creative or how we're planning that against things like on the high street versus at home, we need to make sure that we're evolving as an industry to make sure that we're evolving with the consumer rather than against them.
Well, I think what we need to understand, it's a little bit like Darwin. If you don't innovate, then unfortunately there probably isn't going to be a future for you as an organisation. It's been a long time since we've heard the phrase banner blindness, which is where consumers just got so fed up with the very static, very boring banners that they were seeing on their web pages, that companies had to innovate to avoid things such as banner blindness, because that was just turning consumers off and actually probably led to the rise of ad blocking. So it's important to innovate, because if you don't, you're probably not going to exist.
I'd say it's important not to get distracted by novelties and buzzwords in chase of sort of media first, etc., or something that might be PR worthy, but to focus on the fundamentals of advertising. So what's the best way to communicate with your audience? Where are they? What sort of thing are users interacting positively with? In addition to that, of course, you want to keep an eye on the sort of bigger technological shifts that might change the way your audience is behaving and sort of take them away from the media you've been used to buying on.
Really understand the audience, understand how they consume the media, and how you're going to tell that story to them and take them on a journey with you. Just don't think about creating this amazing ad, but think about really getting to understand the need that you're trying to fulfill. If you can do that, I think you'll succeed.
So the big thing for me would be remember who you're talking to. I think it's really easy to get lost, especially within mobile and digital as a whole, really, and started to try and use lots of different techniques, and forgetting that some devices you're hitting people on are super personal. And really understanding that if you are entering that value exchange with a consumer, understanding what you're giving them back. Is it a good experience? Is it a better experience than they would have had without you? And remembering that creatively you need to be able to do the same.
Just test, test, test. Be prepared to try new things, be prepared to fail, be prepared to build upon what works. Don't be frightened.